activated charcoal. Charcoal is really just wood that's burnt in absence of oxygen. That's all it is, that it is. You're just not allowing it to catch on fire. You're heating it and reducing it down to an elemental form. Okay, activated charcoal is really just a fancy way of saying medical grade. It's a consistent type of wood, a hard wood mostly, a dense wood, and it's been burnt and crushed very, very consistently. I carry this stuff all the time. What do they use in poison control centers? Charcoal. You swallow something really nasty? Charcoal. This stuff is really fascinating. The reason why it works is because of the way that it looks on the molecular level. It looks like these little cubes of sponges. It's like holes all in them. Little holes all in them. And what happens is, when you have complex molecules with this really funky shape, like with poisons, arsenic, all kinds of funky stuff, you have these complex molecules, they get trapped up on the interior of the lattice structure. It absorbs. It absorbs up to 500 times its own weight. That's why they use it. Now, here's the stuff I use it for. I've used it for all kinds of stuff. One of the things that will kill you in a survival situation is a common stomach bug. It's going to pass in 24 hours, but in the meantime, you're dead. Because you're dehydrated and you have no energy left over to pump stuff back into you. You're exposed. You're laying out in the backyard, you know, with your head on a rock. Because that's what felt good at the moment. And you got hypothermia and you're dead. Okay? This stuff will not kill the virus. It won't. Well, what's the part that makes you want to have diarrhea and throw up all over the place? It's not the virus. It's the side effects of the virus. It's what it's doing inside your body. So where's the charcoal come in? It absorbs all of that. All that nasty crud that your body is piling out. All those waste products. It sucks it all up, passes it right through. I've used it with my kids, I use it with myself. I feel a little bit sick, what do? If my digestive tract is in trauma, I use charcoal.
So is it in powdered form?
Powdered form. Must be very, very consistently small. Grind it very, very, very small.
And you swallow it?
You swallow it. Yes. Now they make these little gel caps to put inside because it has almost no flavor. It will make your whole mouth black. It has almost no flavor at all. My kids, they hold their nose. There's a little trick to taking it. You take about a teaspoonful of it. There's a little trick to it. You're going to learn anyway, but it's just fun to share the tricks. It's so fine. Like you can blow on it, and it's in the air. Okay? You'll inhale that stuff. You put it in your mouth, and you'll, because it's real fine, it'll tickle your throat, and you'll suck it in your lungs. It won't hurt you, but boy, it's uncomfortable. In the meantime, everyone around you is black. You just cough all over.
Can you mix it with water, or?
You wash it down with water. What you do is you put it in your, here's the trick to it. You close your tongue over it. Put it in your mouth, dip it over, scoop it with your mouth. Don't breathe. That's the trick. Don't breathe. Just don't breathe. Hold your breath, and then wash it down with water. And just gulp it down, gulp it down, gulp it down. It will cure all kinds of ills. You ate something that shouldn't have been eaten, but you did it anyway. Your body will make use of it, but you're not loving it. Your body's not loving it. Your body's sick of it. You know? You feel yourself in distress, take some charcoal.
You get this at a drugstore?
Not commonly. You can sometimes in the gel cap form. You can, yeah, whole earth. Buy the big, if you buy the small amount, you'll spend buku bucks, 20 bucks on a little bottle of this stuff. You buy it by the pound, it's a lot cheaper. I buy mine on eBay.
You can get it in whole earth and Murphy.
Whole earth, yeah.
What's the difference between the dry and the gel cap?
Nothing, one's in a cap. The difference is you don't get the ooey, nasty, gross in your mouth. But where does your digestion start? In your mouth. Be a tough guy. It'll be, look, just take it in your mouth. That's the way to do it. People use the gel caps because they think it's ooey, it's yucky.
Is that the same stuff that fish filters?
Yeah, except for that stuff for fish filters, it works the same way, but that's of a lower grade. It's not meant for human consumption, and it's not because it might kill you or something. It's just it's been used with different types of woods under different. They can't verify that it didn't have a poisonous plant in there. That they just can't verify it. Yes.
Isn't that called bone charcoal?
I'm not activated charcoal medical grade.
Bone charcoal is like powder.
Yeah, it's very, very fine. Very fine. Okay, here's the last one. And every single one of you should have a small amount of this. Silver. Well, you're going to have the silver so you can make your own colloidal silver.
Yeah.
You're going to make your own colloidal silver. The reason why you're going to make your own? Because somebody's always capitalizing on that stuff and making it, and it loses its efficacy in a very short amount of time. It loses its properties. What's the property? It's been made with electricity. And if it's not stored properly, it loses that charge. The purpose of that charge is, now, colloidal silver is more powerful than any antibiotic on the planet. If you get burned, if you get really burned, you're in a burn unit, what kills you from burns? Infection. What do they put on your burns? Silver cream. Why? They didn't give you some penicillin or something? They gave you silver. Okay, silver kills all known single-celled organisms because they breathe the same way. They breathe the same way. And silver, in its colloidal form, passes. Colloidal is a description of the size of the particle. Very small, slides right through the cell walls, interrupts its ability to process oxygen, and it dies. You're going to make your own. You're going to take 3 9-volt batteries, hook them in series, show your husband how. He magically will figure out how. In series. So you're getting more voltage. You need 24 volts to do this. Okay? 3 9-volt batteries. Take pure silver. Pure silver. I cannot emphasize this more. People are using sterling silver necklaces. That's only 92.5% silver. What's the rest of it? Heavy metal alloys that will kill you. Will get lodged into your nervous system and kill you.
So where do you get the silver?
I bet somebody in this room has some in their pocket. You can buy it on the internet.
A coin?
You can buy a coin. Sure. Buy it. Now you can go ahead and use the coins if you want to, but you can try to use a small. It does not take very much. For this purpose, you can use 2 little 5-gram bars, little tiny wafers, and those suckers will last a lifetime for this purpose. And they'll be much cheaper that way, maybe $5 or $10 a piece.
So you get a silver ingots then?
Yes. Buy the little ingots. What you're going to do is hook your little batteries in sequence. You're going to use distilled water, as clean a water as you can get. If you can't choose, well then you just, you're whatever. Use whatever you have. But if you have distilled water, the ability to make it, use distilled water. Difference with distilled water, it's got fewer things floating in it to interrupt your charge and your solution. You want to have no more than what are called 3 parts per million total dissolved solids. If you can, you buy yourself, it's called a TDS meter. Total dissolved solid meter. This meter is like $4. It's not an expensive piece of lab equipment. All it does is it senses the impedance of the water and it reads the amount of dissolved solids inside the water. TDS meter. Total dissolved solids. Less than 3 parts per million. Very clean. You can go right down to the grocery store and buy distilled water if you wanted to and just keep it for that purpose alone. Okay? Just for medical purposes.
How about the water back here at the charcoal filter?
That's not going to get rid of minerals.
Okay.
And you don't want it to. Distilled water is not like healthy water for you to consume. The minerals are good.
Yeah.
And just for this purpose, we're trying to make a massive concentration of silver suspended in solution. Okay? So you take 2 little wires with little alligator clips on them or whatever you want to do. Drill 2 little holes and you drop the silver. If you're using copper wire, do not drop the copper in the wire. If copper touches the water, you're actually activating the copper as well. Not like it'll kill you, but it's not exactly. You're going to be interfering with what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make colloidal silver. Just the silver touching the water. It only takes just several minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes tops. Get a little cloudy. You take your total dissolved solids meter, drop it in there. The number went up. That number represents how much silver you have in that water. It has extra, it's been ionized. It's electrically charged silver. Now, these single-celled organisms, they don't run around and they grab stuff and stick it in their mouth. They get attracted to their food with electrical charges. So you're literally released a guided missile into your bloodstream. It doesn't have to like happenstance bump into each other. They suck to each other.
So you mix this up, when you get sick, it doesn't keep if you
It doesn't keep. You're talking about 3 days to 2 weeks. That's it for its lifespan.
How long do the 9-volt batteries usually hold up?
Get a rechargeable battery thing. Rechargeable 9 volts and get yourself one of these little solar power things and stick it out in the yard and just use it for that.
And when the reading gets up to what?
Like 50 parts per million is really good dose.
Or you can just buy this little frame, right?
Well, that's for birds. This is for anything. Use it internally. This stuff will murder every single-celled organism and viruses.
So you can mix this with Vaseline.
It's caustic. It creates a caustic environment.
Use it for pink eye.
Pink eye. Yeah.
And it works for animals.
Exactly. I've used the stuff on cats. We had these neighborhood little brats that were shooting cats with BB guns, and I'd have these stray cats show up, dragon infected, full of BBs. How'd you shoot them full of colloidal silver? They're happy. They got a BB still in them, but they lived.
What kind of dosage are you talking about? How much?
You can't overdo it. There is a very, very rare condition called argyria. But argyria is very rare. There's like 8 people in the nation that have it. And that was with the old silver salts that used to be done. And it actually, it's where the particle is non-colloidal. It's like a powder. It's very, very small, but it's a rough particle and it gets trapped up in your fatty tissues. Electrically generated silver has never caused argyria. Argyria is not harmful. You'll just have gray skin for the rest of your life. You'll look like a smurf. Yes, ma'am.
If this kills all bacteria and you try to take it internally, you're going to be killing off the natural...
Some of them, yes, ma'am.
In your digestive system.
Make choices.
You're going to get diarrhea.
Maybe.
And it's
You know what?
also going to interfere with your body.
This is a tool. This is a tool in a toolbox.
White rice.
That's what it is. This is a tool in a toolbox.
What kind of wires again that you...
Distilled water. Has to have as low a total dissolved solids reading as possible.
No, what kind of wires?
Wires.
Any type of wire, you just don't want the wire touching the water.